Hello everyone, Josh first back again to bring you guys some more 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross, and today I'm finally going to unveil the global tier list that myself and others of our Discord community put together a couple days ago. Now, this is coming out before, of course, possible getting our new banner of Red Hellbroom and maybe even Green Coin Shop Bond. We're not 100% sure what units are coming after tonight's maintenance, but those are the two expected to drop. Maybe even Red Demon Meliodas maybe as well. I don't know, but this list is for what is good right now. Like right now in global. So any unreleased units are not included in this list. And since this was made before the guild boss dropped yesterday, it's not included as well. But I already did make a guild boss kind of breakdown video, so a lot of you already kind of know what units to run for that anyways. So this is going to be good for PvP, PvE, Story, Red Demon, and Grey Demon. Now, before a lot of you ask the question, what's the difference between Story and PvE? Story is pretty much just going through the very first 6 chapters of the game, and which of course will allow you to access other various outlets of the game, like Guild, for example, PvP, for example, etc., etc. Whereas PvE is more or less just basic farming. You're farming that you're going to do while you're asleep. So we tried to put together a good top 10 list of units that could really help you in building the perfect farm team. That way it'll give you the most runs back while you're away. That way when you come back, you have more free stuff. And that's what you're all wanting, right? Yes, of course. So, in PvP, our top 4, we could not get these top 4 to be moved down any further. If you actually look at our tier list, left to right is the best, most optimal units to the least optimal, and we did 10 of each. So we start with Blue King being obviously one of the most optimal units for PvP right now, alongside King Arthur, our girl Green Jericho, who's pretty much just carrying a lot of players through a lot of content right now global. She's definitely by far my global pick for MVP right now. And then of course our boy Grill Thunder, who sits on the sub slot. PvP defense up 30% for everyone, just tremendous. And unfortunately Red Liz, being the fact the only thing she can do is that sub, we had to leave her off the top 10 because other units are doing a lot more things than just what she's doing on a passive. Because unfortunately when she does get into the fight, she's kind of a sitting duck. Whereas Gil Thunder at least has a really strong ultimate, which is good to counter some of the strongest units in the meta right now, such as Blue Diann and Blue King. And he also has, of course, those buffs, which are very, very good. Plus, he's also getting that 15% up with our boy Arthur's passive because he is a human. So Gil Thunder is offering you a lot more than just that passive in a PvP fight, even though that's primarily what you want him for. Now, Diann, very, very strong ult, as you guys know. That's pretty much what she's there for, to set up for that strong ult. Very, very nice. And then a surprise one for a lot of you that cracked our top 10. We got 2 Elizabeths here. We have the blue Elizabeth with Hawk, which has a tremendous ultimate. And she also has her own built-in cleanse, which is very, very important for, you know, some of the shutdown units we already have available right now, like Gustav, Merlin, the petrification that you can get from King, any kind of like bleeding from Jericho, for example. There's a lot of different debuffs that are going on right now in PvP. She's really good for kind of getting rid of those and giving you solidify, which allows you to take less damage because you're stacking all of that resistance, and her ultimate hits like a truck. And she's also very good for the new guild boss as well, in just in case some of you didn't watch that video. And then Merlin, obviously there for the lockdown. I mean, what more can I say about Merlin? She's just going to be there to help you spam that lockdown alongside King, and then maybe even after tomorrow alongside Red Hellbroom. We'll have to see. In the other units, Green Elizabeth just heals so much. She heals, just spam healing. It's ridiculous. It can become annoying, and if you don't take her out quick, she could just reset the fight for your opponent's team. And then Green King, when you do get him off, he starts hitting like a truck as well, because he's going to start doing a lot of crit damage because of the way his passive is set up. You know, the closer his ult gauge is to full, the more crits he's going to do, and he hits really, really hard. And then of course Blue Slater, if you go on turn 1 or if for whatever reason your opponent doesn't have any kind of ult gauges, he's going to hit very hard with that passive, which gives him basically a guaranteed crit. So that kind of fills up our top 10. Now, I'm not going to go too much into the PvE story in Red Demon and Grey Demon. I wanted to just kind of emphasize more on PvP. That way you guys kind of know why we placed them in that order. And again, this is not my list. This is our community's list. This is basically the Josh verse brand list, because we made this together in the Discord. And if you guys ever want to be a part of any videos like this in the future, make sure you join us in the Discord in the link in the description below, because we'll be glad to have you, and you guys can experience a lot of fun stuff we do there, including Discord live streaming, which is kind of a new trend going on around here, and I've been very much enjoying that. So I hope to see you guys down there. All right, now PvE, obviously our top 4 is our primary best farm team right now. We have Red Hauser, which obviously if you're running humans, he's going to be giving them 8% to all their base stats from his passive, which includes our girl Gila, Weinheit, or Weinhardt, some of you like to call him. It's just a lot easier to say. And then we also have our girl Elizabeth, Green Elizabeth, which of course she's not a human, but she still is one of the top 4, top 5 farmers right now available in global, just due to the fact that she can lower defense down on a, of course it's a single attack, but still that's very strong. And she does all that pierce damage that she gets on her skill 2, which is AoE, and she still has that huge modifier on her skill 3 for that single target nuke. So she's still a very good farmer. We got Weinheit, which can basically take attack cards away from the opponent, really kind of crippling them, which makes it really nice to use him for farming in higher stages of like boss stages, for example, on our autopilot, because he can take away their attack cards, which just renders them pretty much useless, which is a very big help. It allows you to get some setups and eventually get to your ults with like your Hauser, or even himself, because Weinheit actually hits very hard on his ultimate. And he also increases pierce rate for everyone on the team, which is very helpful for a girl like Green Elizabeth, who kind of does that on her skill 2, which will get her to like 90%, which you could take that over 100% plus, thanks to Weinheit's passive, which is very, very cool. We also have our girl Gila, which right now is probably one of the better AoE setups, because she can spam ignites. She can keep stacking all those ignites, including with her ultimate, for quite a while. They have very long durations, like 3, 4, and 5 turn durations, so you can stack them up quite a bit, which allows your other AoE units, such as Hauser, for example, or Weinheit, to do a lot more damage. And it also pairs up very well with Green Elizabeth, so that is a very good four-man team. Man, obviously there's 2 women in there, but you know what I mean. And then Arthur, obviously you could run in that team as well on your sub, just to give your human characters 15% more HP. So very, very solid right there. Very happy with that. You guys let me know what you guys think about the PvP and PvP. I'm sorry, the PvP and PvE list in the description below. Now for story, this is pretty much what are some of the best units right now to get you through some of the harder stages of the story. And of course, one of the hardest right now is the last 2 Henderson fights, the Green Henderson and the Blue Henderson fight. So a lot of you will be making good use of that SR bond that you have to build up anyway, which takes away old gauges. Very, very good. He'll be good for the green fight as well. Jericho and of course Green Meliodas that just completely one-shot Hendrickson, the blue one. I mean, Jericho can also one-shot the green one. So, I mean, I guess Green Meliodas can too. So that's probably why he's actually a little bit ahead of Jericho, to be honest. But both those units are great. SR bond is great for that. Of course, Arthur just sitting there being a tank, doing a ton of damage, can buff. He's such a solid unit. And we of course also have Blue King, which is still good for the petrification, the healing and the cleansing, and the powerful ult that he has that's AoE. So those 4 units are just very, very good for pretty much all of story right now. I mean, really, Arthur could technically be a top 4 as well, if not for the SR bond. It's that top 5 is a lot closer than the top 5 of PvP and PvE, in my opinion. Arthur he's right there on the bubble of, basically you can make the argument he should be up there in the top 4. But nonetheless, very, very solid. And then the Red Demon team, I mean, let's be honest here. If it wasn't for the fact, if I had my way, if I had my bias, I'd have Jericho probably ahead of Elizabeth and Hawk. But we were doing a lot of feedback, and a lot of great points were made that Gustav is a lot easier of a unit to come by. Blue King is a free-to-play unit you get, and Red Elizabeth Hawk is also a very easy unit to come by because she's just an SR, so you can max out her ult pretty easily. So there you go. and she can build up her damage over time. And since that whole object of Red Demon is just to keep them locked down, obviously the two lockdown units, the two best lockdown units right now in the game right now are Gustav and Merlin. Obviously they're going to be up there in that top 4. So really, you could make the argument you don't even need Blue King for Red Demon at all. But if you are missing Merlin, you're going to want to run him with Gustav. If you don't have Gustav, you're going to hope that you have at least Blue King and Merlin, etc., etc. Whatever the formulation that you're going to have is, you're going to need at least 2 of them to really make that extreme run consistent. You and your partner, you're going to keep that Red Demon locked down all the time. That's the only reason why Jericho is not in the top 5. It is simply because 3 of the top 4 are there for lockdown, and that's the main objective. Regardless of damage, the main objective for Red Demon is to keep them locked down. So obviously Jericho is going to get pushed down a little bit because she is technically the second most consistent damage dealer, and of course Slater would be the 3rd most. And Slater's also very, very good for that stage. If you build up him and you get some dupes into him, he's going to do a lot of damage. But the thing is, do you really want to put dupes into Slater? This is the question. So that's why he's kind of been pushed back a little bit on that. Same for story mode as well. And of course for PvP. Do you really want to invest that much in a Slater? That's the question. But anyway, Grey Demon. Grey Demon is actually the one of the main areas outside of PvE farming that Jericho is really not going to be in the top 5 for the first time. My poor girl. You guys know I love Jericho. I've made it very obvious. But yes, Meliodas, his counter is a little bit more consistent for Grey Demon, so he's going to be bumped up over Jericho, where Jericho can't do any damage until she uses her ult. So you're going to be throwing away a lot of cards, unfortunately, in that stage before you can use her ult. Granted, her ult can kill the demon, no problem. But Green Meliodas, his actual skill 1, can actually damage it since it's a ranged attack. So you're not throwing away as many cards with Meliodas as you are Jericho. Green Hellbound's there alongside Gil Thunder for the double stacking buffs. And then, of course, you got Green Elizabeth, the best healer in the game right now, and the best support character for that stage, because he hits very, very hard, and you need a good cleanser and a healer. So Green Elizabeth is perfect for that stage. And then, of course, the best DPS for that stage, consistently, of course, would be Green King. So I don't know how you guys like our list. Hopefully you like it. I know there's probably going to be some people that may not like all of it. You're never going to make everybody happy with these tier lists. A lot of it is very subjective. But I hope you guys do like the time that we did take to put this together. And hopefully we put together a pretty decent list. If you think so, definitely give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you guys would change. Let me know how much you guys like or dislike the list and all that good stuff in the comment section below. And sorry for my voice still, guys. My throat is still sore. My voice is still just really rough right now. But hopefully we can get through it for the next couple days. But anywho's, there you guys go. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, tick notifications, join us in the Discord below. Drop a like if you did, comment below again what you guys think about this tier list. And if you enjoy videos like this, let me know. And I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. Until then, peace.